Good morning. We're not going to be working from Active Learn today. We're going to have a little look at GeoGebra. So what we're going to ask you to do is to go onto the web, geogebra.org. So you're going to pause the video and get onto that point. Most of the rest of it we're going to be starting, pausing and having a look. Okay, so hopefully you've got geogebra.org up on the computer. So what I would like you to do now is have a little look around here, and if you want to follow my mouse, then that's not a bad idea. The thing that we're going to look at today is graphing calculator, but there's all sorts of different things in there, and geometry is a great one as well, where we can look at areas and rotations and things like that. But part one today we're going to look at graphing. So if we press on the graphing calculator, so it looks like this. So we've got some graph paper, and we've got our x-axis going along here, like the little arrows at the end. It's done properly, and then upwards as well. We can zoom in and out. So this part here looks quite small, but we can press X over here to close it away when we've got a graph to do. Alright, so what we're going to do, so on most lot of graphs, we're going to say y equals. So let's come over here, y equals, and the first thing we can do, y equals x, and there is our line. So let's just delete that down in here. So up here, if I press enter, we can see that it's green, and we can change it if we want to. I want to drag this around in here, we can see what's going on. So our input is always x, so when x is 1, y equals 1, and this is our basic graph. This is our workout. This is our default go-to place. So look, it's going directly across all of the lines on there. So that is the line y equals x. So the output here 3 is because the input was 3 as well. And that's what we do. We take our line up here and we draw across, and we can see what our input was, and see from our input we can see what our output is. If you want to, you can do some drawing on there to demonstrate that you want to show exactly what you want to do. So I'm new on this tool, so just bear with me. Oh, a bit wobble, not too bad. So we go up to there where it hits the line, and then we go across to there, and we can see when x is 3, y equals 3. Happy with that? Okay, so that's what we can do. Now the great thing about this is that we can do many more. So let's come into our input again. Oh, we're drawing at the moment, don't we? Drawing. Let's just close that out. So I'm going to move my mouse into here, and I can say y equals x plus 1. Alright, so press enter, and we got it blue. So we can see here that this line is exactly parallel with this line. So this is our new one, the blue one. And what we've got here is this line where we go up from 1 and x is 1. Here, where the y equals x plus 1. So x is 1, y will equal 1 plus 1, which is 2. So putting a plus into here has shifted that whole line upwards. It remains parallel, but it's shifted upwards. And that's a key point that you need to understand. Because if I go back now, and if I write in here y equals x subtract 3, I put 7, didn't I, you muppet? Why did I do that? Y equals x, take away 3, and then we can see the red one on here, and we take away 3. Key things to note on here as well. So y equals something x. Alright, so this is 1x, we don't write the 1, but plus 1, that line goes through here at plus 1. This one, we got plus or take away 0, and it goes through 0, and this one, take away 3, and look at this, it goes through negative 3. Now that's really key, that's really important when we're doing graphs, when we're doing lines. Alright, so I'm going to delete these two. And what I'm going to do now is I want you to do that. So work it out. So press pause on the video and do those on the screen. Okay, so we know what the plus and minus number is going to do. So let's do y equals 2x. So there we go, y equals 2x, and I press enter, and it's got the red or orange or whatever it is. And we can see on here, x is 1, y equals 2 times 1. And this line here is twice as steep as this line here. And we can see when x is 2, y equals 4. And it works exactly the same with the negative numbers. When x is negative 2, y equals negative 4. So what we've got here is a number in front of the x. What does that do? It changes the steepness of this graph, all right, of this line. So I'm going to now do y equals 0.5x. And look, it's less steep now, this blue one. Let me press enter, we've got the blue one. So look at that on here now, it's much less steep. So when y equals 2, so when x equals 2, y equals half of that, which is 1. So anywhere along the line, you can read off what the output would be. Okay, so have a little play with that. Pause the video. Okay, so let's have a look now. Y equals negative x, press enter, and we can see a negative line comes the opposite way down. So if x is 1, negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. If x is 2, negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. So we can see that the line goes downwards. So we've got 3 things to look at in here now, 3 things that we know. The number in front of x changes the angle, the steepness, the gradient of the line. The number on its own will shift it upwards or shift it downwards. So plus 5 will move it 5 up, subtract 3 and it will go 3 down. And if we put a negative in front of the x, so if it's negative 2x, the gradient will stop going up and it will start going down. Now they're the 3 key notes that you need to get from what we've done so far. So I'll pause the video and let you write down some decent notes. Okay, so why am I showing you this? Well, I'm showing you this because I think it's quite important that you understand the link between nth term and graphs. So our term y would equal, so term, so we're going to say that the term is the y. So if we had a sequence saying 5, 7, 9, yeah, then the y would be the 5, and then the next y would be the 7 and such like. So how do I go that? So let's write down in your book the sequence 5, 7, 9, 11. What goes in front of the n? How many does it go up each time? It goes up 2n. So I'm not going to write n on here, I'm going to write x, but it's going to mean the same thing. And when we're looking at the x, 2 times the first term will give you 2, but we want it to get to 5, so we need to add 3. And here we have it. So this is the line 2x plus 3, but it's pretty much the same as 2n plus 3. I hope you can see that. Forget about the negative terms down here, they don't mean anything. I'm just going to move it on so we've only really got the positive ones. And down here we've got the term numbers. So term 1 is 5, term 2 is 7, term 3 is 9, and it will carry on like that. So what I wanted to show there was relationship between the nth term and the equations. We will do straight line equations in a lot of detail a lot of times before you leave school, but if you understand that, if you understand what's going on here, then that's quite important. Okay, all right, thank you.